back-to-back conference finals, and people are still sleeping on the Timberwolves.
His shoulders weren't squared.
And now he is soaking it up.
Well, here's the problem. They are not going away.
I'm gonna work my butt off this summer. Nobody's gonna work harder than me this summer. I tell you that much. So, yeah, I'll try to make it happen again for Mike.
They didn't blow it up. They didn't panic. In fact, they're quietly having one of the best off seasons in the league. And the biggest reason I believe they're coming is Anthony Edwards has the entire summer to level up his game.
I'm gonna get about 5 to 7 days of just laying out, being easy-pazy, going outside, shooting a little bit. This is the first summer I done had in 2 years where I can work on my game, lock in on that. I can really work on my game.
Here's how the Wolves are building a legit powerhouse around Ant, not just for next season, but for years to come. Let's start with what they did not do, and that might have been the best move they made all summer. I think trading for Kevin Durant would have been a bad move for them. Honestly, no matter what trade package it was. The last report was Rudy Gobert and Dante DiVincenzo with maybe some draft picks. Before that, it was Julius Randle or Jaden McDaniels with their young guys. Honestly, no matter what the deal was, I was against it for the T-Wolves. Giving up multiple players or extra assets for a single player is not what they need right now, especially if that one player will be 37 years old at the start of next season. So what did they do? Well, first let's start with the draft. This was a really good under-the-radar draft. I can sum up what they did in 2 words. Rudy replacements. That's it. It may seem small, but if these 2 big guys pan out, they got their bigs of the future. Gobert's still good at 33, but $109 million over the next 3 years means they had to plan for what comes next. Bigs like him don't usually age well. Ask Dwight, DeAndre, or Blake. Maybe he can hold that off till the end of his contract, but the Wolves need to start planning now. And this draft, they did exactly that. Yohan Béranger is a fellow Frenchman of Gobert and has a very similar game. Great defensive instincts, elite rebounder, and rim runner on offense. Very little skill outside of 5 feet of the hoop, but talk about the perfect mentor to learn under. In the second round, they took a flyer on Australian big man Rocco Zakarski. He had first round talent heading into the season, but an underwhelming season down under had him fall to the second round. Now, I haven't been crunching the tape on this guy, but at 7'3", 257 pounds, as an 18-year-old mind you, is 100% worth a flyer for a team looking for a player in 2 to 3 years. This was a great long-term draft for the Wolves. If they can get one of these guys to hit and be a solid defensive big man to anchor your defense, home run. But let's talk about free agency. They got Naz Reid and Julius Randle to re-sign, and both on a discount. I had no idea if this was going to be possible because players don't normally take discounts, especially when they are in their primes like these 2 are. A lot of teams were hoping for Naz Reid to shake loose and want to sign and trade, but he and the Wolves squashed any thought of that real quick, agreeing to a 5-year, $125 million contract the day after the draft, showing the rest of the league that the Wolves weren't playing around. Then, getting Randle to opt out and re-sign with a small raise was a great deal for the Wolves. Now, I am not a Randle guy. I think the real Randle is the one that got beat up during the Thunder series more than he is the guy who destroyed the small Lakers and Warriors teams in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, but getting him at this price versus getting nothing for him is a big win. He is a useful player, and having him next to super duper star Anthony Edwards mitigates some of his shortcomings. Now, they are losing Nickeil Alexander-Walker to the Hawks, which sucks, but they were best equipped to handle his loss versus losing Reid and Randle. Now, I'm not saying that the youngsters in Rob Dillingham and Terrence Shannon are going to just pick up Nickeil Alexander-Walker's slack, but they have the ability to make up for most of it. He was so good for them in this last playoff run, but in today's NBA, his skill set is easier to find and replicate than that of Reid or Randle. But it's not just the stars and signings. What might push this team over the top are the guys you're not thinking about. The last step here is the internal development. They are counting on Shannon and Dillingham to take the next step. Shannon to make up for the Alexander Walker loss, and Dillingham to help when the older Mike Conley just doesn't have it or can't keep up. These two guys developing are a key to this team winning the Western Conference next season. But on a lesser note, what can Leonard Miller and Jalen Clark give this team? Are they solid role players or just end-of-the-bench guys? If one of them can be a reliable eighth man, that would really help the Wolves too. The other big internal development possibility is starting forward Jaden McDaniels. McDaniels is only 24 years old and already a damn good role player. He has elite defense, he's a good shooter, and a solid secondary scorer playing off of Ant and Randall. He's still 2 to 3 years away from his prime, so the question is, are there more levels in there? He's a career 34% three-point shooter, and if he could get that up to 38 to 39%, that unlocks even more of this team. Now, the last step for this team, the one thing that will take this team to a true threat to stop this possible OKC dynasty before it even starts, is Anthony Edwards. Ant is a 23-year-old super-duper star. He was second in the league in threes made and threes taken per game, only behind the three-point GOAT in Steph Curry. Coming into the league, Ant's jump shot was seen as a limiter to his game. Now it's a legit strength, showing he puts in the work to improve his game. Now, I think he can get a little threes focused, but I only say that because he is the best athlete and rim attacker in the NBA. Literally nobody, and I mean nobody, can stop him when he is determined to get to the rim. Where he is now reminds me a lot of LeBron James in the 09 to 2011 range. He was still figuring stuff out, then after that finals loss to the Mavs, he came back and just decided nothing was stopping him from getting in the paint. That was the next evolutionary step for LeBron then, and I think that is Ant's too. For him to reach that next step, to become a true MVP candidate every year, him being able to control the game with his inside the arc and paint scoring will unlock everything for him. And like the video I showed earlier, he has the full summer to be in the lab, a full summer of grinding away at his game, trying to reach his full potential. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm willing to bet on Anthony Edwards. I think this is going to be the best season of his career to date, and he will be in the top 5 MVP voting next season.
In the corner, Brunson and Edwards. Edwards all over him. The fadeaway from Brunson won't go.
Now, if Minnesota breaks through, this offseason will be why. Draft wins, smart signings, and Ant going nuclear. Want to know who didn't handle the draft well, or which draft pick made me say, what are they doing? Well, check out my 2025 NBA draft postmortem. Also, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. It really does help this channel to bring high quality NBA content right to your phone or TV screen, so make sure you do that, and it helps us grow as well. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.